What's good? It's your man Don Bucks. Welcome to another episode of Cheef and Chart, brought to you by Rap and Dough. You know, the home of money conversations. Talk about all things black wealth. This here series, we talk about options trading. One of the solutions I bring to the table in regards to closing this wealth gap. So, if that's what you're into, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell. And this episode is named KryptoChronic, when parameters remain the same. So before I get into that, yesterday, y'all, I was featured on this podcast, a local, but soon to be not local podcast, because as y'all know, I'm from Trenton, New Jersey, and these two fellas. Oh, and by the way, the name of the podcast is called World Takes, and it was a financial wellness edition, because I'm not sure if they're geared towards that, but I believe it's all things Trenton makes, world takes, because that's kind of our slogan for Trenton. So if you look up the capital of New Jersey, which is Trenton, one of the famous bridges that runs through from Trenton to Pennsylvania is called the World Takes. Trenton makes the World Takes Bridge. So they named their podcast World Takes. So I was on there yesterday. Pretty dope conversation. Talked about a lot. Told my story, of course. Talked about Ye. You know, Ye is like streaming and trending right now. I rock with Ye. Let me keep it funky. All that anti-Semitism, and it's a bigger play at hand. Just know that it's a bigger play at hand on their end and on Kanye's end. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's a bigger play at hand, and a lot of times, consumers, us as consumers, we don't see the bigger picture in regards to, you know, what the business plan is and what they plan on doing with whatever they're doing, right? We don't know what's the inner workings of the background. So I believe, in my humble opinion, it's a bigger play at hand. I mean, it's chess. People playing chess. People thinking checkers, but these folks is playing chess. Always remember that. But today we're going to talk about when the parameters remain the same. And that's in regards to when we're looking at momentum divergences, once it makes a move. Because keep in mind, y'all, as swing traders, we're looking for one swing. We're shooting for one swing to a level. That's all we're looking for. So we see a momentum divergence like right here, new high in the MACD with weakness. We're looking for one swing to the next level. This is where we're taking profit, at the next level. And then we wait for the next setup. We're not going to get in and it swing and then we hold on. Like, what are we doing? Right? We're going for one swing. So this is the SPY, y'all. And each one of these bars represent a full day of trading. Regardless of what color it is, that doesn't necessarily represent everything that was going on in that trading day. Because keep in mind, on a daily basis, there's buying and selling going on in the stock market. That's all it is. It's a big auction market. People are buying and selling, trying to find fair value for their assets. So here we go with a momentum divergence. So the parameters are still the same, right? We'll be out here. The parameters are still the same. It came down, but the momentum is still to the upside, right? And yesterday, if I was tapped in, I told y'all that it was going to come down some more outside of the Bollinger Band. And that's exactly what we did today. This is today. This was yesterday. If y'all was tapped in yesterday, and if you haven't already, hit the notification bell, because if you wasn't tapped in, you probably ain't know your boy was live. But what I said yesterday was, this is coming from out of these Bollinger Bands a little bit today. And this is what happened. But what do we have here? A level. We have a level. So I told y'all this is where I believe it was going to stop. And that's where it stopped. Now, keep in mind, you're not always going to be right, but the chart says what it says. And that's all we can do is read what the chart says. If it goes against, we can have all our ducks in a row. I said this before. Sometimes the market will make an extreme move that's outside of the plan. But you have to know before you get in, what's your extreme point that you're getting out when it goes against you. Know that before you get in. Know that before you get in. Okay. So me personally, if I'm waiting for this to set up, if this drops below the level, because this is where I think it's going to stop. And I believe it's going to bounce off of this. If not tomorrow, the day after. But this is the patience that we're looking for. We're trying to see how much weakness this is going to show with this strength of the MACD. So our patience is waiting, and we can guesstimate that this is where it's going to stop, but because it's a level, right? So we can prepare and be looking for it to turn green from here. But in order to see it turn green, we have to drop down to a trading time frame or something below that. And look at this. This looks like extreme selling. Remember how I said anything more than 3 bars in one direction, start looking for it to reverse? Well, look at this. This is way more than 3 bars in one direction. There's small range bars, but it's more than 3. You can add them up and it'll come to 3, right? Like if you put these two together, that could be 1, this could be 2. What I'm saying is this is a selling extreme, it looks like. And it corresponds with the level and this moving average of the MACD, which people tend to go long off of or do calls off of. So we have a level, we have the moving average, and we have extreme selling. All of that added up equals a reverse, a bounce. That's what that equals to me, based off of my experience. All of that equals a bounce, but we wasn't able to see all of this in that daily bar. So what we're looking for now is how much weakness. So when this turns green is your hint that it's bouncing. So we're waiting for this to turn green, preferably 2 bars, 1 or 2 bars after. If it turns green, boom, that's potentially symbolizes a bounce. We got the level, we got this moving average, more than 3 bars in one direction. So let's see what the half an hour says. Do we see any green? No green yet. Because this half an hour shows you what's going on in those 2-hour bars. All right. So it's 4 of these that equal 1 of those 2-hour bars. So we're waiting, right? If this turns green here, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to bounce here. But that's where the patience comes in at. So if you're playing the SPY or anything related to the SPY, your chart should be looking like this as well. Excuse me. Pardon me. If you're trading anything that's correlated to the SPY, what I mean by that, the SPY represents the overall market. S&P 500, it's the top 500 companies of the stock market. And it represents all 11 sectors. Because there's 11 sectors to the stock market. I ain't gonna run all those down. That's some homework for you to divvy out. But there's 11 different areas of the stock market. You have technology, you have healthcare, consumer discretionary, so on and so forth. Financials, there's 11 different sectors. And the SPY comprises all of them under one umbrella of the dopest companies. So if the SPY is down and you're playing a solid company, you're trading a solid company, that chart is going to look similar to the SPY. So you want to know what the SPY is doing so you can guesstimate what your stock is going to be doing. Because if the SPY is down, it's going to bring down every other stock, mostly every other stock in the stock market. They say rising tides lifts all ships, and the opposite. So if this is going down, majority of the market is going down. If it's going up, majority of the market is going up. So this can give you a general bias as to what to look for in your personal stock. That's if you're not playing the SPY itself. Right? So tomorrow, just to wrap up, the parameters remain the same. And when the parameters remain the same, well, actually, the parameters actually changed a tad. But what I mean is the momentum divergence is still to the upside after a pullback. So after a big thrust to either direction, and then you have a pullback, and the MACD remains the same, that gives you an entry point for a continuation. So this is the MACD momentum is still to the upside, parameters remaining the same with weakness. So this is a momentum divergence. Singing the same song every day, right? This is my trading system. This is what I've been getting results with. Y'all been seeing what happens. So we're waiting to see how much weakness, and with everything shows that it wants to bounce off of this level, because if we drop down to the trading time frame, we see that the trading time, the trading time frame is showing bounce ingredients. We have a momentum, a moving average that is bouncing off of, and we have a support level that is bouncing off of, and we have more than 3 bars going in the same direction. All of that equals a bounce. Not 100%, but it's high probability. And that's what we're shooting for every trip. We're looking for high probability setups. And that's a high probability setup. So that's what we're looking for tomorrow. We're looking to see how much weakness the SPY is going to have. We're looking for it to bounce and continue up and test 387 again today, because the high was 381. Didn't go too high today because it had to come back inside of the Bollinger Bands, right? I told y'all that was going to happen. So this is what happened. It came back in, and that's what happened. So when it comes back in, that sets up a momentum divergence, because we don't want to be trying to enter in these, right? We want to enter in this to set up for the continuation, because the next level up is 390. It's your man, Don Bucks. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm giving up this game. If you want to learn how to swing trade like this, make sure, if you haven't already, took my course. It's Pay What You Want. Somewhere in the description of this channel, have added. That sale is ending soon. Probably, I'm not sure when, but make sure you take advantage of that Pay What You Want business model that I'm running right now. All right, it's your man, Don Bucks. This is Cheef and Chart. Always remember, there's no competition. Always you versus you. See y'all tomorrow.